you are literally sabotaging yourself if you are not using this 6-step framework to unlock massive amounts of success. Hey, welcome to the channel. This is Work-Life Mastery. If we have not met before, my name is Andrew Smith. I'm a Christian dude that loves to help guys unlock massive amounts of success in both their personal and their public lives. Today, we're going to be talking about vulnerability and why it is so important to help you grow as well as help those that you care about grow. So let's get into it. So we're just going to do a quick overview and then we'll get into the details on how it can apply specifically to your life. The first thing I want you to realize is that this framework operates like it's on a clock face. And ultimately, what we're going to see is that these steps feed into each other and create this exponential cycle of upward movement, of growth, of expansion into your life. The first part is authentic vulnerability. It's super important when we talk about vulnerability that you don't make things weird. Okay? The kind of vulnerability that we're talking about here is relevant and appropriate to the situation that you're in. If you're at a meeting at work and you're talking about marketing not meeting their expected number of impressions, that's not the time to go into how you totally broke down when your cat died 3 months ago. That's not relevant and it's not really appropriate for the setting. However, an appropriate way to contribute vulnerability in that setting is by talking about the role that you had in marketing not being able to meet their goals. It has to be connected with the situation or else it just makes things weird. I also want to mention here that authentic vulnerability is truly revealing actual weaknesses or imperfections in you or the actions that you have taken. So when you're being vulnerable, be vulnerable. It's better to just not say anything at all than to be pseudo-vulnerable. That actually degrades trust. Okay, so that's the first one, authentic vulnerability. The second one is trust. We're not talking about dependency, like those corny dependency falls that they used to do back in the 90s, right? You have to have a lifestyle of being able to freely admit your mistakes, freely admit where you're weak in order for this practical trust to be established with other people. The more naturally you can admit your weaknesses, the more easy it will be for you to have people trust you when you say that you're strong. Put another way, if you're not really ever revealing your cards about, hey, I'm not that good at this, people are never going to trust you when you say, I know what I'm doing and I know what we need to do in this situation. I feel confident about this. Step number 3 is a healthy collaboration. When you have these vulnerable and trusting relationships, the natural thing that follows is a healthy collaboration. If there's trust, you can move forward together. People will naturally collaborate with you if they can trust you and they like you. It's not rocket science. One thing that I do want to point out here, and Patrick Lencioni actually talks about this in his book, The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team. If you'd like me to do a book review on it, feel free to throw that in the comments. But a great point that he pulls out here is unless there is trust, there is not healthy conflict. Both words are important, healthy and conflict. You must have conflict in order to move things forward, but it has to be in a healthy place. And what makes it come from a healthy place is if there's trust and if there's vulnerability. So you can see how this clock face is starting to feed into each other. You have vulnerability, helps people to trust you. That leads to collaboration, which includes healthy conflict. That leads us to the 4th step, which is achievement or success or whatever you want to call it. What I'm going to term it is synergistic achievement. Synergy. You can have some small success working just by yourself. If you're wanting to unlock massive success, you have to be able to work with others. And that's where this comes into play. Vulnerability leads to trust, leads to healthy collaboration, leads to synergistic achievement. When you have this synergistic achievement, you get a quality reputation. This is where the cycle starts to feed back into itself. And this is also the pivot point between your personal life and your public life. People see the success that you're having and they wonder why. Your reputation builds the more that you achieve. What this naturally leads to is number 6 on the clock face, proactive connections. People will naturally gravitate towards you because what you're doing is working. They see the achievement that you're experiencing and they want a piece of the pie, which there's nothing wrong with that. Instead of you having to work for these connections, opportunities will now start to come back and find you, and you get to be the curator. And now you can see how this feeds back into the first step, authentic vulnerability. The more people that are connecting with you, the more opportunity you have to share a personal relationship, a connectionship with those people. And the cycle continues and grows. You build those vulnerable, trusting relationships with more people, leads to more success, your reputation grows, and you get more opportunities as a result of it. There's one other element that makes this whole thing click, and that is that each element on the clock face is directly corresponded to the one that is across from it. Let me explain. Vulnerability is a personal achievement that leads to a public achievement. Your trust in the private world leads directly to trust that the public sphere has of you, and the private collaboration that you have leads directly to the public collaboration. Your public and your private life melded together into one beautiful sphere of swirling success, which I find very exciting. All right, y'all, that is it. One thing that I did want to say is that I am so grateful for you being here. If this is your kind of content, make sure that you like and subscribe. I'm actually giving away 100 of these cool stickers to the first subscribers. Feel free to just throw it into I think I'll just do like a Google Sheet or something simple like that, so you can give me your address and I can mail these to you. And yeah, that's it, my friends. I'll see you in the next video. And as always, get out there, take action, and be a force for good. Peace.